Hi there, YouTubers. This will be the second part of the video on warping up the loom in the garage to make this rug. And you can probably hear there's some noise in the background. I'm going to turn the camera around in a minute and look out the front of the garage door into the street. We just had a little bit of excitement. The city was going around playing with the hydrants, flushing them and making sure they worked okay. And when they shut down the hydrant across the street from me, the water main broke because of the sudden change in pressure. And we had a geyser coming out of the yard across the street, and now we've got all kinds of construction equipment, and I'm sure the neighbors are not happy with the big hole in their lawn. So we'll take a quick look at that for a minute or two, and then I'm going to show you what the loom looks like. Well, a dump truck load of dirt just left, and you can see the guys standing down in the hole. Isn't that fun? They're replacing the clay and dirt that we've got in our neighborhood down around the break with gravel. Just what I needed. By the way, it also means that we've got no water in our house at the moment. I'm sure my neighbors here are really unhappy. There's the water department truck. So you can still hear the front end loader that's across the street. I'm going to grab a couple of separator sticks. So on this loom, we've got this big wind-up back beam and this handle that easily comes off because it gets used on both the front and the back. And I'm going to just start doing a little bit of winding on. I don't have a lot of pressure on these things. So, continuing to wind on a little bit more. I need another stick. Handy dandy stick, and just put that right about in there. There's our layer separator. That's about it for winding on, actually. So you can see it's pretty much all wound on. I'm just tying the warp onto the beam, the front end beam. So this is pretty straightforward stuff. You've seen it before. I'm not going to talk you through any of these details, but you get the idea. I alternate sides just to try and keep the tension approximately even when I do this. So, anyways, I thought I'd show you that I do have the warp basically wound on. At least wound onto the loom, if not fully tied on yet. And then I guess the next thing will be to go get my weft, which like I say, this is a new weft I'm using this time. I've never used this stuff before, so this should prove interesting. It's Cored Alpaca. Well, you'll see it in a few minutes. There's no point in me talking about it. Well, YouTubers and weavers, here's the moment we've been waiting for. Finally going to take a look at this weft. I've got two packages about this size. I'll pull it out of the plastic in a minute. What I wanted to do is show you this this card. Okay. We've got stuff on the back as well. What it says, because you probably couldn't read that. 10 years of spinning fine yarns from the Rach-Al-Paca Fiber Processing. Rachel and Alan Butcher at 18495 Goodwin Avenue, Hastings, Minnesota 55033, and their web address is www.Rach-Al-Paca-Farm.com. And Rach-Al-Paca Farm is spelled Rachal-Paca-Farm. I'll also put a link to that below. I talked to them at the, I've forgotten the name of it. It was down in New Berlin, Wisconsin. Last, I think it was April. It was a big alpaca event. They had a lot of vendors there, and they had a lot of alpaca judging. And I bought this stuff from her at that event. This is what's called Cored Alpaca. It's pretty thick yarn, I mean, and as I understand it, there is a solid core of some sort in there that is used as a base for holding the thread together, and then the alpaca is basically spun or twisted around that core on the spinning wheel. So I just thought this looked pretty neat stuff. This is mostly black with a little bit of whitish or grayish in it. And then I've got this other batch that is mostly white or cream colored with a little bit of multiple colors. I mean, there's some brown, there's some red, there's even an occasional tinge of blue. It's pretty neat looking. And what I'm kind of hoping to do is to do an alternative black and white threads as weft. Not every second thread, but more like about every 15 or 20 weft threads switching back and forth, and just see how that comes out. It should give me kind of a striped looking rug. Anyways, that's the hope. Like I say, this is purely an experiment for me, so we'll see how it works. I'm not even sure how I'm going to wind this onto my handy dandy thick fiber shuttle. Lost the word there for a second. Anyways, this is what I'm going to do. I'll try and get some of it wound down, and then we'll have a look at it after I get some weaving, a couple shots across to see how it works. Alright, YouTubers, well, you can see I've started weaving. Haven't gone very far, what, about 4 or 5 inches? I'm noticing that I can't get very much weft onto this shuttle in terms of number of wraps around the shuttle, but considering how thick this weft is, it makes a fair amount of weaving. So what I've got here, just this little bit of black, is one wrap in the shuttle, and I probably overwrapped it. So now I'm on my second bit of weft, and it's going slow, but this is taking a little bit more of my effort to work on, but I think it's going to look nice. I sure do hope so after time I'm spending on it. So this is what it looks like as I'm weaving. Like I say, I'm not normally a rug weaver, so that's another thing to notice. And I'm really trying to beat this tight. So you get the idea of what's going on here. And I just wanted you to see it at this point in the process early on. And of course I'll come back and show you again after I've gotten a lot more done. It feels pretty neat though. I do like the feel of this. It's going to be a very soft feeling rug. I have used up as much of this white color as I can, except for this one ball that I figure I'm going to, should be about the same amount as I used for the other end to get the two ends to come out approximately even. I've discovered that my biggest issue with using the alpaca, the coarse spun alpaca, is that I didn't know how to estimate how much weft I would need to do the whole project. And I think I overestimated the length of the rug that I was going to get out of this. So it's not going to be as long as I thought. But that's okay. It'll still look nice.
colors now. This one. The shuttle does not travel as easily as I think it ought to. Got caught on something on the other end. So it honestly doesn't slide very well back and forth. That's another issue I've got with using this thing. I suppose if I used less on the shuttle I could do it, but then I'd be rewinding the shuttle every 2 or 3 shots across, and that's not going to work out very well either. Anyway, I think the rug is going to look neat. It's just, it's been different than my normal, the way I normally weave. I've never been a real big rug weaver. But you get the idea of what I'm doing. There it's starting to come to use it. Actually shuttle across. Okay. Well, I'm basically done with the weaving of this rug, the Alpaca. It feels really neat. I like the feel of this, but I don't particularly like working with it. It's putzy and really difficult to get very much onto the shuttle and go back and forth, and it gets stuck going through. So right here I've put a header or trail piece, whatever you want to call it, just a couple inches of using carpet warp as my weft material, just so I can fold it over and put a hem on it to sew the end down to be sure it doesn't unravel. So we're now at the point where I'm going to walk in front of the camera, sorry about that, loosen the weft just a little bit, warp just a little bit, and then cut off the rug from the loom. I should probably have a bigger scissors than this, but hey, it works eventually. So we'll take that up. There's what it looks like. It's not a real long rug. I'll cut the other end off, sew down the ends, and then show it to you laying on the floor as a rug should be. So YouTubers, here is the final finished product of this bit of weaving. And as you can see, I've got one of my official rug inspectors checking this out. My Judy is teasing her by having her hand underneath the rug. And of course, Sassy Cat is interested, but she is so stuck up she refuses to admit she's interested. Overall, I'm very happy with the feel of the rug and the look of the rug. I didn't enjoy working with it only because it's harder to push the weft through, and I have to use smaller, shorter bits of weft in order to make it work. That's just my preference for weaving. I tend to, normally, as you can tell from my other videos, I prefer working with a finer thread than rugs. Rugs are just not my favorite. But anyways, I'm really glad I have the ability to do them, and I'm very, very happy with the way this feels, especially if you stand on it barefooted. It just feels wonderful. So that's what I think of working on this. Oh, here comes our other inspector too. He's much more apt to get interested in being teased. Anyways, that's the Alpaca Rug project. I hope you enjoyed seeing it, and if you're not a subscriber to my channel, I would appreciate if you would subscribe. If you are a subscriber, thanks a million, and we'll catch you the next time around on YouTube. Bye-bye for now.